is there a biblical connection to mathematical symmetries? Well, I discovered some really interesting patterns. I've known these for a long time. Years ago, I knew, for example, that 12 times 12 equals 144. And what we can do with these numbers, we can actually mirror it and reverse it. So if you start from here, you've got 441. There's the 441 equals what? We'll reverse the 12. You've got 21 times 21. So I've known about these palindrome. Palindromic means, it's a Greek word for running backwards. So for some reason, mathematicians, we've always been fascinated when certain numbers can be reversed or mirrored, and we don't really know what this reciprocality means, but it is a cosmic thing because something is being mirrored. So I decided to find bigger ones. So I've got some bigger examples I wanted to share with you. And you might say, well, what's the point of all this? So what? What's it mean? Well, my understanding in a nutshell would be, I call this numerical karma, and you'll see why in a minute, why I've called it numerical karma. A lot of people say I'm a numerical nomad or a mathematical monk, but this is what's called numerical karma. Karma, as in what you do to others, comes back to you. And so I want to take a bigger example. So we're going to take two numbers, two 3-digit numbers, 122 times 213. You get on your calculator and you'll see it's 25,986. So now we're going to read the whole thing backwards. So I go 68,952 equals these numbers reversed. So 213 becomes 312 and 122 becomes 221. So the top line is an exact mirror of the bottom line. And I call that a metaphor because a meta, as you know, means something beyond. So there's a deeper meaning to this numerical symmetry. The technical name is called Reversible Multiplicative Symmetry because we're actually multiplying numbers. And if you look here in my library, I've got a dictionary, a Bible here. And if we were to open up Luke chapter 6, verse 31, you would realize, or you should know, that it says, do unto others as ye would have them do unto you. And I really like that because that kind of relates to that Hermetic ancient Egyptian principle where they said, as within, so without, as above, so below. There's that sacred metaphor of the mirroring. And also, I like to call it the law of reciprocality. So reciprocality is kind of what we do, say, to the Mother Earth, to Gaia, is what we do to ourselves. That's my idea of what I call ecosophy. Ecosophy is an understanding of how we treat the planet. We're actually treating ourselves. So this is really sort of cosmic. There are many other examples. You could take 102 squared and you get 10,404. And again, if you reverse all that information, you get 201 squared equals 40,401, the exact mirroring. So I decided to conclude, how is there a certain yantra or image or diagram that could best capture the deeper esoteric meaning of what all this means, this interconnectedness of all things. So I decided that the most simplest thing that I know is actually the seed of life. So if I was to draw the seed of life, I would have a central circle. You can see I've done all this just by hand. It's not perfect, but I'm going to put 6. If that was a coin, like a 20-cent coin, we know that 6 coins can go around the central coin, and they're all tangent. That means these are touching there, and they're all touching the center. So everything has a nodal point. So these nodal points are important. So this is called the 6 around the 1. 6 coins all tangent or kiss one another. So if I was to start from the top here, I'm just going to follow this path. I'm going to not take my chalk off, and you can see that I'm getting this sort of cosmic. It looks like the letter 8, but I call it a cosmic 8. But where I started, it reversed and returned back to where it started from, and it kept going. So that 8 there, I can do that axis again this way. So I can start, this is a second axis, and so there's one there, there's two there, and there's a third one going this way as well. So we just did this way. So if I start from here, always touches the middle. So it's kind of like going back to source. We start somewhere and come back. And essentially what I've drawn is, it's pretty much like a hexagon. But you can subdivide a hexagon into 24 little equilateral triangles. But really what you're looking at is a cube. So if you were to turn this, if you look at that point, you'll see that there's a hexagonal geometry based with the cube, if you were to look at it. And essentially all that is the flower of life. So when we look at the 6 sides of the flower of life, we're looking at the cubic consciousness of the universe, and the cube contains all the information in the universe. And the reason why I love this numerical karma is a reminder that we have to be very conscious and aware of all our actions that we do, the way we talk to people, even our thoughts, because everything we think we create. So just wanted to conclude that mathematics is a sacred ancient language that allows us to create our reality and to give respect for all that we do. Thank you.